In this video, we are going to talk about how OnLink provides account provisioning as well as app provisioning by integrating into Okta, Azure AD, Google Workspace, or JumpCloud. Particularly in this video, we are going to highlight the security controls so that as an administrator, you can control who is authorized to perform these actions. So let's take a look at Azure AD. I'm going to use Azure as an example, but the security and compliance controls work exactly the same for other systems like JumpCloud and Okta. When you first log into Azure AD or set up the connection, you need to provide the tenant ID, and client secret. We have documentation and other videos on this setup, which you can check out. The first level of security controls are the projects and authorized users. As a Jira admin, you can specify which projects allow the use of OnLink connector for Azure AD. So here I have HR work as the only project in which when an issue is created and the underlying post function that calls OnLink integration works only on the HR work project. Similarly, we can limit who are the users who can create issues or transition issues so that only limited set of users are having the control to approve or authorize the integration. You can specify both individual users but also application users in case you want things to be automated. So as an admin, you have full control on this kind of configuration where only limited projects or users, you can also obviously have groups specified as well. This will allow you to ensure that only the folks that you trust who have permission are able to perform any Azure AD related actions. The second level of control is when you click on next. This is when we will provide the list of the groups that you can add. So the first one is, it says restrict groups available for provisioning. Your Azure AD instance may have several groups. It can have dozens of groups. Some of them might be quite sensitive, which you do not want to automate in any shape or fashion. Others that are more generic, you may want to help with automation. So this is a way in which we allow you to have that control and ensure that you can specify only those groups that you are okay with the automation. So from a global list of groups, you can specify a few of them here. You can add, remove these groups. OnLink is automatically connecting to your Azure AD system to provide this list of all the groups available from which you can select a few. Similar concept for the application provision. We will connect to Azure AD to select the list of apps. And in this case, I have only one app. That's why that's the only one that is listed. But if you have several apps, you'll be able to select a few of them that you are okay with automated provisioning. And this is the only list that is then surfaced for users to select when they approve or when they create a new ticket. So I'll keep this window open and go to any issue that was created recently. So here, if I see there is a field called Azure Groups, this is a custom field that is created by OnLink, and you can use this in any of your issues or request type. And here, if I click on the drop down, I see the 4 groups only. So these are the ones that as an admin I authorized for selection. So you can see those 4 groups, and the rest of the 3 groups like digital initiative, public relation, or Mark 8 project team are not available for selection by users. So that's how you get full control on which groups you can add. And like I said, the same concept can be applied for the app provisioning in terms of which apps are available and which groups to provide access to so that users get access to those apps. Once this is selected, as a administrator, you can set up your post function. Again, that's a standard way in which OnLink works. We have other videos on it. The post function is able to identify the user, their email address, and then add this user to the Azure groups or Azure app groups that has been selected. We leverage standard Jira functionality like post functions and workflows and issues, and that makes it easy for someone to do compliance and auditing. So for example, here I have a simple Jira dashboard that lists all the users and the issues. What is the username, who was their manager, the list of Azure groups that they were given access to. Here you can see designers, US sales, MSFT. These are the groups that they were given access to. The app user groups that they were given access to, as well as who approved them. The approval comes from either the JSM approval, or you can set up your Jira workflows for any approval that can be brought into the report. In this way, you can set up a Jira dashboard that gives you visibility into what and who got access. And it's a very simple and easy way to get visibility and be in compliance. So in summary, in this video, we walk through how as an administrator, Jira or Azure administrator, you have control on what kinds of groups and what kind of applications are you want to make available for users who use OnLink to automate the provisioning.